What's going on, y'all? Today is October 2nd. It is the weekend before the new alternative weapon season opens up here in the state of Arkansas. I've got my bow loaded up. I'm headed over to a piece of public land that I've got a permit hunt on next weekend, Saturday through Wednesday. The main goal today is I'm going to try to do some scouting and hopefully try to figure something out for next weekend. But I probably will hunt this afternoon with my bow. Conditions right now are not very favorable, to say the least. It is hot. I think the high today is like in the low 90s, maybe 91, 92 degrees. We got a south wind, which isn't really great for any places I'm planning on hunting next weekend. It's dry. We've had very little rain for the past month. I mean, hardly any at all. It's just basically a dust bowl out there. There's burn bans everywhere. I was getting lots of pictures of deer on locusts and persimmon trees, which both produced really well this year. But within the past month or so, the acorn producing trees, whether that be white oak or red oak or what have you, have started dropping. So the deer that I was getting on them locust and persimmon trees have pretty much disappeared. It's gone from, getting pictures every day to maybe a picture or two of a deer I want to hunt, once or twice a week. Nothing consistent enough to feel good about going in and putting a plan together to hunt a deer. I'm hoping today I can find a little bit of rut sign, maybe some scrapes, move some cameras onto some scrapes, things like that. Hopefully I can start, getting a little bit more activity on my cameras. But other than that, I don't really know what to expect. Really, we need some better weather. But it's deer season. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to give it my best. And if it doesn't happen today, then hopefully I have a better idea what to do next weekend. Okay, well, today's been another crap show. I got some scouting done, moved some trail cameras around, put some more cameras out. Had another flat tire on the bike. My bike rack broke. So, I've got a lot of work to do on that stuff to get it ready for next weekend. I didn't get near as much done today as what I wanted to. But I managed to get out here and climb up in a tree for the last hour and a half, 2 hours of daylight. I did, however, forget the fluid head for my main camera. So all I've got is this camera here. So I probably ain't gonna get much footage, but probably ain't gonna say anything anyway. Next weekend's when I'm really hoping things get a little better, but we'll see. Good morning, good morning. Today is October 19th. It is opening morning of the new alternate weapon season in Arkansas, or straight walled season if you want to call it that. I am headed to a piece of public land that I have drawn a permit on for this a 5-day hunt. Hopefully something happens. I don't know. It's pretty dry. We've had some cooler temperatures this week, so hopefully that helps. Y'all come along and we'll see if we can find anything. Well, I'm in here and I'm set up. There was another hunter going to the spot that I just got set up, and it's just now getting shooting light within the past 5 minutes. I'm set up in a nut-all oak tree, and I got lots of cover around me. This tree's got limbs going everywhere, so that's what I try to get into, trees that got good cover, but I can still shoot from. This spot I'm hunting is basically just a little bottom, but it's got a lot of nut-alls in it. These nut-all oaks don't grow everywhere out here, but it seems like in the little low spots, you'll find patches of them. It seems like the deer are on the nut-all acorns pretty heavy right now. It's also really dry, and I've got the main creek probably 100 yards from me. So if a deer were to go to water, then I'm pretty close. There's a mock scrape that I put in last year, about 30 yards from me, and it's still active. I can see pretty good too with this rifle, this 350 Legend. I was hoping I could get somewhere I could see pretty well out here, and it's still kind of thick, but it's just open enough that I could probably shoot 80, 100 yards. I'm gonna get quiet and watch the sunrise. And hope a deer shows up. Snack time. I've been absolutely covered up in squirrels this morning. Wish I had a pellet gun or something. Those two doe come through around 8:45. They seem like they had somewhere they wanted to be. I don't know if somebody bumped them or if they were just ready to get to where they were going, but I'm probably only going to sit here till 10 or 10:30 this morning. It's already after 9 now, but I'm going to climb down around 10:30. And hunt my way back to the truck looking for sign. I gotta go set up my tent and camp and everything to sleep tonight. I hadn't decided where I'm gonna go this evening. I'm hoping I can find a little more sign than what I've seen, but I'll be somewhere in the woods, that's guaranteed. Alright, I'm set up in here. my way in. There's very little sign, as I think I've already mentioned, but on my way into this spot, I found something I've never seen before. So there's a cypress knee. It's about waist high. And the deer got it tore up rubbing on it. I've never seen them rub on a cypress knee, so that's pretty cool. There's a bunch of other rubs around it. They ain't super fresh, but it's something. Right in the same vicinity, there's several oaks that are dropping acorns. I found some fresh, clumped up deer crap. And there's 2 persimmon trees that are still holding and dropping some persimmons. Most of the persimmons in this area have already dropped out, so I'm hoping that between the acorns and the persimmons, there'll be some deer in here. Up in this tree, I can see a pretty good ways. But down on the ground, it's real thick. Probably, 5-6 foot high, real thick. So I think the deer will feel safe in here. Kind of gives them a sense of some cover. But once I get up in the tree, I got some pretty good shooting lanes. I like this spot. That don't mean there's going to be a deer here. Armadillos, possums, and coons. That about sums this eating it up. That's probably going to do it for this hunt unless something shows up in the next 10 minutes or so. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do in the morning. It's October 20th. I slipped in here to a spot I've hunted in the past, but I hadn't been in here this year, and I didn't know where exactly to set up, where the sign would be. So what I did is I slipped in here in the dark. I sat down on the ground, at a little pinch point. And then here in about 30 minutes, when it gets light enough I can see pretty well, I'm just gonna slip with the wind in my face and try to find some good sign to really set up on. That's about the only thing I know to do. So I didn't want to try to set up in here in the dark, not knowing, what's the conditions are. So I'm going to sit here and hunt for about 30 minutes. I'm going to get up and I'm going to slip hunt with the wind in my face and scout. Hopefully find something good. Here's a 9 a.m. update. I ain't found anything worth setting up on. I bumped into a few deer I say I bumped into them. I heard some blowing. I don't know if they're blowing at me. They were dead upwind of me, so they shouldn't have been able to smell me. And I was moving pretty slow, being as quiet as I can in these dry conditions. Oh, I don't know if they're blowing at me or there's a coyote or something in here. But anyway, I ain't found a whole lot. I found an old rug that was just shredded, but I mean, it's been there for a while. I just sat down. I'm gonna take a break, drink some water, eat a snack, and probably get up and just keep on looking. There ain't no point in climbing a tree hunting if there ain't gonna be no deer there. There ain't a reason for there to be deer there. So I'm gonna keep looking till I find something I feel good about. Well, that happened quick. I don't know if I got any footage. I tried to clip my GoPro on my gun before I shot, but there's a group of probably 20 pigs. I just couldn't help it, man. Can't stand them stupid things. There's so many of them in here. Just need to shoot as many of them as I can to get them out, but one of them dropped in his tracks and the other one ran, so I'm gonna walk up there and take a look at it. Well, here's the smaller of the two pigs. The bigger one ran a ways. I blood tracked it for a little bit, but it ran into a thicket, so I ain't even gonna mess with it. It's going to expire if it hasn't already, and that's all that matters. You know, these things out here are such a nuisance, you know, that even the Game and Fish says you can just shoot them, leave them away, you know, try to get rid of them. This little one here is probably a pretty good eater, so I think I'm going to at least cut the back tracks out, so that way we have a little bit of camp meat tonight. So I'm gonna get busy on that, and then we'll get back to deer hunting. I got 2 back straps for camp meat tonight. I guess when the good Lord gives you pork, make pork chops. It's the afternoon. I just got set up in here. I came back to that tree I sat in the first morning of the sun. That's great that I said I was hunting. Well, a buck worked it this morning at 5:30, somewhere around there. It's the first rut activity I've seen as far as leaving sign. I've got cameras on historic scrapes and mock scrapes. And this is the first buck I've had that really tore it up. I knew they should be starting to hit them pretty hard soon. I'm hoping that that deer doing that this morning is a sign of what's to come. But because of lack of other options, a lack of finding sign, I decided to come back in here, not this evening. I don't know if he'll come back. But about 100 yards before I got to this tree, I bumped a buck. I didn't get a good look at him, but he was a decent deer. And I don't think he smelled me. He was upwind of me. So I'm hoping he didn't get a good look at me. I'm hoping he didn't get spooked too bad. So maybe he'll come back. If not him, maybe a different deer. I must sit till dark. And I'm probably already made my mind. I'm probably gonna come back here in the morning. It's just the best that I've seen. So I'm gonna get quiet. Get still. And hope something shows up. That's probably gonna do it for this evening. I've still got about 15 minutes of shooting light, but I doubt anything comes in, but you never know. At least we had a little action with that doe. She made a lot of racket coming in here. I was thinking there may be more than just the one, but I never saw them. I'm gonna leave my stuff in the tree tonight and come back in the morning.